friends, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead. I'm going to make an apple upside down cake today. Now my friend Noreen, Atticus9799, has a wonderful recipe for pineapple upside down cake, but I'm going to make apple because that's what I have in the basket. And I have this new beater bar that was sent to me by a friend that for my KitchenAid that actually has a spatula edge on it, so I'm really excited to try that. So what we're going to need for this recipe is 2 cups of flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 stick or 1/4 pound of butter, 3/4 of a cup of milk, 1 cup of sugar. You can use fine granulated if you like. I prefer raw cane if I can get it. 2 eggs and some vanilla, and of course a pinch of salt. All right, so let's get our, oops, I locked her down too quick. Let's get our butter in there and our sugar. And let's get that locked down and creamy. Now while that butter and sugar is creaming, and because it's not fine granulated, it may take a little longer, I'm going to add a pinch of salt to my 2 cups of flour, and I'm going to add my 3 teaspoons of baking powder, or thereabouts. Oh, that works wonderful. I don't have to stop this and scrape the sides anymore. Awesome. Okay, let's get the eggs in there now that the butter is creamed. And we're going to want to really beat well after each addition. You're just going to want to whip the crap out of it. And while that's beating, I'm going to add my vanilla right to my milk. Alrighty, that looks pretty good. So let's put a little bit of flour in. Let's turn it down to stir. A little bit of flour in there, because we always alternate. I suppose I can move closer now. Oh, come on, cowgirl. We always alternate our flour mixture with our liquid mixture. And I always reserve the liquid, the last bit of liquid to the end, just in case there's some dry spots in there. But this is to make it mix nice and even. Yeah, I think I'm going to add a little bit more milk. So I'm going to say this is 1 cup of milk. Now I will tell you folks, if you've made your cake or you're going to bake with your oven canned flour, then what you want to do is you want to add more liquid for one simple reason. Your flour has been baked and it is extra dry. Remember my failed marble cake? It was because I used the oven baked flour and I didn't take into consideration that it was extra dry. All right, let's give this one final whip. And, oh, that's lovely. All right, now that we have the batter ready, let's go over to the stove and get our topping ready. Okay, folks. Let's get our topping ready. As you can see here, I have just a plain round cake pan. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that on to a minimum heat. And I'm going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter. And I'm just going to let that melt. And while that's melting, I'm going to peel and slice my apples. And you can add raisins, you can add nuts, but Howie doesn't like raisins and I don't have any nuts. And it's only a few apples, so I'm not going to get out my peeler slicer core thing because it's just too much like work. Alrighty, there is enough butter now on the bottom of the pan that we should be able to soon add our brown sugar. Now our butter is melted pretty much, and we're going to add our brown sugar. And we're just going to take it and press it down into the butter. We want it all kind of, you know what, I think we may need more brown sugar. Now, we're going to, I can't find the cinnamon, but I did find some pecans. So we're going to turn this off because we only wanted it on to melt butter. We don't want to burn the butter or the sugar. So we're just going to start putting our apples in here. And I probably have way too many. I hope I'll eat them. And let's just throw some pecans in there. You want some apples and pecans for lunch? Here, little snack.
Not very hearty.
Have a piece of cheese with it, it'd be perfect. All right, now we're going to take our batter. And our oven is preheated at 350 degrees. And we're going to start putting our batter. We're going to put it on top of our apples and pecans. All right, we're going to bake this at 350 degrees for about 50 minutes. We'll be back when this comes out of the oven. And let's see how our cake did. Oh my. Isn't that beautiful? All right. Now, let's get this out of the pan while it is still hot. Just put the plate on it. And 1, 2, 3. Oh, the syrup is just a pouring. Now, I'm just going to take a wooden spoon. I want to tap it. Oh boy. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Pecan apple upside down cake. Numbers!